Hello again, you guys. Thanks for joining me today. I want you to really listen and pay close attention to what I'm going to talk to you about today. It should be pretty quick, but it's actually really important. And it's what I've designed all of my programs around because it makes a difference. So what we're going to talk about today is the hierarchy of change. So I'm going to jump right to my screen sharing here and let you look at this. So as you can see, this is the hierarchy of change. And so this is when we talk about change, most people, when they set a goal, they think about, okay, I'm going to set a goal to be healthier. And so the first thing I'm going to do is get a membership. And then I'm going to start eating healthy. I'm going to start tracking my food, right? You know, I have you guys track food sometimes too. So, but they start with that. So if you look at this pyramid that I've got on the screen here, the pyramid shows where we spend our time and energy and efforts and thoughts, right? On to be able to make the change. So, and like the order of operation. So if you look at this pyramid that I've got, I'm trying to point to it, but I'll use my mouse. You can see the environmental results are at the bottom. So they start there. They think, I'm going to change my environment. I'm going to empty my pantry and get rid of all the junk food. And then I'm going to buy lots of fruits and vegetables. And I'm going to move my couches and put in a treadmill and a row machine, or I'm going to get a gym membership. Does that make sense? So they change their environment first so that it's much easier for them to not be tempted by the bad. I don't like to use that word. Sorry, I said it, but by the things that don't align with their goals, right? So then they think if I change my environment, then my behaviors will change. I'll actually eat healthier. I will be more active. And then once I change my behaviors, my capabilities will change. I'll be stronger. I'll be better at cooking. I'll be better at exercising. I'll know which exercises to use because I, have been making those changes before. And then once I change my capabilities, like I am actually good at exercising and I'm good at making healthy choices, then that will change my values and my beliefs around these things. So I will believe that eating fruits and vegetables are a good way for me to live, or I believe that somebody should exercise every day. Then they'll change their beliefs after they have made all these other steps, right? And then once their beliefs have changed, that will change who they are. They'll be a healthy person. They will be a person who loves to go running and loves to hike. And they'll be a person who just can't wait to make their morning smoothie, right? So they think that their identity will change after all of these things. And then once their identity changes, then the last step is their spirit. Their soul will be Zen, they'll be a totally different person on the inside and out. So that's the old way of thinking. This is the way most people go about making lifestyle changes or really hitting any goal or shift in their life. And I know years ago, that's the way I attempted these things, because every program, every book, everything I have ever read or tried taught this way. So there's a different way of going about it. And as soon as I started implementing this with my clients, their results were magnified. They were able to stick to their changes. So let me change screens here. I got to figure out how to do this. So I'm going to stop sharing that page. And I'm excited to show you the actual hierarchy of change. This is a idea, or just basically a diagram that was taken from Robert Dilts' Logical Levels of Change. And that's a great resource if anyone ever wants to read his book. But here's the breakdown, right? I'm giving you the cliff notes, and this is what works. I've seen it work with my clients, and I've seen it work with me. And I should have silenced my phone before I started this. So sorry. That shouldn't happen again. Okay, so the actual way of change is we flip that pyramid upside down. It's going to be more like this. So we actually want to spend all of our energy and time and thoughts at the beginning, at the top, at the spirit level. So we want to stop and think about, who is my spirit? What was I before I came to this earth? Who am I as a spirit, not just as this person, right? And then once you are clear with your spirit, then you can go down and be like, okay, next level of change or understanding is the identity. Let's look at who I am. What type of person, because our spirit is different than our person, right? Everyone, that's a whole nother topic, but whatever your beliefs are, I think most of us can agree on that there's a difference between like a soul and a spirit and your actual person. And there's so many times that our spirit is going to stay the same, but we can identify as a different type of person. So, 10 years ago, I identified and was a different type of person than I am today. Does that make sense? So even though I look the same and I am basically the same spirit, I can identify as a different person. So when we talk about identity, that's like, when you say, I am an active person, I am a person who loves physical fitness, or I'm a person who is family centered, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm talking about, identities and where we put our identity. I'm a mom, I'm a dad, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, I'm a teacher, I'm a farmer, I'm a dentist. You get what I'm saying now? Okay. So when we talk about identity, then the next step is to start to change our identity. What if I have this goal of being a healthier person? Then what does my identity need to be? And does that identity align with the spirit? So the step above, right? So we got to make sure that it's going to align. And if it does, what type of person do I want to be? Because we actually get to choose. Isn't that crazy? We get to choose. If you think that were born to be a person that cannot get healthy, then that's actually not true. We get to choose. Yes, our spirit aligns with different things, but it will align in a certain way. If you have a goal or like a desire, that's what I should say. If you have a desire to be something, then it usually aligns with your spirit, right? That's your spirit calling to you, saying, please, please, let's do and be different, or let's do and be X, Y, and Z. And it's just some of the other things that get in the way on a more physical level, like our habits and our conscious levels of just like mono type of things that don't feel like you are that person. But if you have a desire, a secret desire that you maybe don't talk about and you don't share, but it keeps calling to you and keeps telling you something, then it should align with your spirit. So I kind of went off on a tangent there, but so changing your identity needs to be towards the top is what I'm trying to get at. Okay. We don't go to the bottom immediately and start changing our environment. We don't change our behaviors first. We actually have got to really take time and do the work to change our identity first. Okay. And we'll go through more of that as you continue working with me, but there's quite a few different ways of changing your identity, and it is not by changing your environment first. Okay. So once you've changed your identity, then we move on to then your values and your beliefs change. Because if you're a different person, you believe different things, right? So that needs to come first before we even change our environment. And then once you've changed your values and beliefs, then you are able to change your capabilities. Because if you believe in something, then you're able to work on it, right? And you're able to do those things. And once you're capable, then your behavior actually changes. You're actually going to want to eat healthier. You're going to want to be more active. It's not going to be so much of a fight anymore. It's just going to just naturally flow and shift rather than having to use your will. Anytime we're trying to like will ourselves to do something and just be like, I can do it, I'm going to force myself to make these changes, they usually don't last. And it's not very pleasant of a shift, right? And so when we start with the top first, when we start with our spirit and identity, then these behaviors just naturally shift and you don't really have to think about it. It's crazy, I know, but this is the way that it works. And this is the way that I have my clients seeing the best results. And that's why we do so much work here and here rather than just working on exercise and food. Okay. I'm all about living our best and healthy life, and it's got to start inside. So that that is the hierarchy of change. Along with this little explanation, I also included in your homework, the same triangle. So I want you guys to take your goal. You should have already maybe set a goal for this program. And I want you to really kind of ponder and think about how your goal can fit in with this hierarchy of change, the inverted triangle. You know, what does your spirit say about your goal? Okay, make sure and align with it. And I want you to write something, if you can see my mouse here, over in these blank spots, write something down about whatever comes. There's no right or wrong way to answer or do this assignment. Just whatever comes to you about your goal and the hierarchy of change, I want you to just kind of take notes right there and write it down. So, you know, does your spirit align with your goal? And if it doesn't, what goal could be similar or different or whatever? What goal can you put down that would align with your spirit? And then next, write down with that goal in mind, what kind of a person you would need to be to achieve that goal. You can write down what you would look like, feel like, how you would act, you know, just anything about the identity of that version of yourself. Okay, you're not going to change who you are. We're talking about the version of you that you know, can achieve that goal, what that version of you is like, and then what that would mean about your values and beliefs, what capabilities you would need to have to be able to achieve that goal, and then what behaviors you would need to do and change. And then lastly, what kind of things in your environment would need to shift and change, or even if they don't need to change, just write what the environment would need to be like. Same thing with all these other steps. Okay. So if you have any questions on this assignment, please message me through the course. There's that messaging, or you can always email me at getlivingfit@gmail.com. And then just make sure you're communicating with me. You guys, I say this all the time. I want you to have full access. The point of this course is to not do this alone. I'm here to help you. So please reach out if you have any questions. I don't know what your questions are if you don't tell me. And then once you're done and complete, make sure you submit it through the course. Take a picture of your work and send it in. And then just kind of keep this lesson in mind until the next day as we learn the next step, which the next step will be to start working on the spirit and identity. So, all right, have a good day, you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you later.